Hello and welcome back to Holly's Garage. Today we're going to be making over a bedroom set from my wonderful client Rosa. You guys, this dresser was an absolute hunker. This thing was so heavy and it was such a struggle moving it around. She also had us do her bed frame as well, and those two pieces were a matching set from Stanley. They were both really well made and sturdy, and I believe it was all solid wood, and she had actually kept them in great condition. There were only surface scratches and there weren't many repairs to be done. Okay, so first we scrubbed everything down with some simple green cleaner before rinsing off any residue with water. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Don't skip your cleaning. Anytime you touch anything, oils and dirt from our hands can get transferred and you might not be able to see them, but these oils can really prevent your products from properly adhering to your piece. And then if you go to sand without cleaning, then you're just grinding all of that right into your piece. It's kind of like putting on makeup on a dirty face. It's just not gonna come out right and it's a little gross. So just clean your pieces, people. Next, I'm just going in with my Orbital sander with a 120 just to give an overall scuff sand, and this does two things. One, it smooths down your piece, and two, it'll give the piece some teeth for the primer to stick better to. Also, this was a factory finished coating, so I'm using a 120 instead of, like a 180 or 220, what I would kind of use normally on things with like a thinner finish. We're going in with some wood filler to fix all the little dents and scratches wherever we see them, and this process takes so long. By the time we were finished, almost the entire top was covered. I'll have a neat little trick for you guys in a little bit to show you how I get the smoothest base. But first we gotta sand down all of this dried wood filler. Go light, because if you over sand, then it'll be like undoing the work you just did. And you don't want to do that because wood filler takes hours to fully dry. Okay, so here's the trick I was talking about. I mixed up that same wood filler with some water to form a paste, and then I'm just applying it all over the top. So this will just ensure that any small imperfections that I missed the first time will get filled in. So after that dries, I'll just lightly sand it down, leaving kind of like a blurry layer still.
We have
Kilz, I got chisels, and I got a pretty nice.
okay.
Next we got a prime, but I'm taping off the areas that I want to leave blank. So I'm just using my tried and true Kilz Primer. This is my favorite primer because it's so quick, it's oil based, so it'll provide better stain and bleed through blockage compared to your regular water based primer, and there's no cleanup. Who doesn't love that? You'll see I have an attachment and I've been loving it because it really saves my hands from cramping. I've got a lot of surface area to spray, so this has really saved me. But anytime you're using an aerosol product or an oil-based product, it's more toxic than water-based stuff, so just remember to have good ventilation and wear a respirator, and make sure that it's approved for fumes and vapors. You really don't want to be breathing in the fumes. And if you're liking this video, please make sure to subscribe to my channel to keep up with my latest furniture flips. We've recently hit 1,000 subs, so thank you all for being here. The Kilz Primer always leaves kind of like a bumpy finish after it's dry, so I just like to hit it lightly with my sander right before I paint. Okay, not right before. Wipe off your dust first. Here I'm just mixing up my paint. It's called Greek Villa by Sherwin before attempting to pour the paint into my spray gun. I swear it is so hard to pour from a full can. I've been doing this for over a year now and I still haven't figured it out. But let's move on to what I can do, and that's painting. Usually with lighter colors like white, the first coat isn't great, but this paint actually had great coverage for it being a light color. This is the first coat of white. It is looking good. I'm using my HomeRight gun for this project, and you've seen me use this before, and it always gives me such a great result. It's really leveled up the quality and efficiency of my work by a landslide. And I don't care what anyone says about how smooth they can get their hand-painted finish, you just can't really compare to a sprayed finish. Not to mention, it's way faster, so you're basically upping your hourly wage, so to speak, by being able to coat a whole dresser in like 2 minutes. Again, just look at how smooth that is. You might get some nibs or boogers, or in my case, tiny flies that just love landing and getting their little legs stuck in the paint. But just knock them off and sand lightly, and you're ready to go for your next coat. Kendall's pouring in the poly now, and that serves him right for laughing at my paint pour earlier. But he just poured it right into the gun with whatever was left in there, making kind of like a tinted poly. So this will provide even better coverage, and you don't have to clean the gun, which we love. We did 2 coats of poly on both pieces before moving on. Now I'm just spraying these handles black, and I'm using Rustoleum Painter's Touch Black, and it's my favorite black spray paint that I've tried. It's so opaque and dark, and it dries really smooth. But just make sure not to flood the hardware with paint, otherwise you'll get little runs and drips. And just like that, we've transformed this outdated, boring bed frame and dresser into a beautiful modern bedroom set. As you can see, we had almost no space to film the bed frame, so I'm so sorry that there's no big reveal for that, but you can kind of see it in this clip. But thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.
I don't think you could work in a warehouse.
Well, now I know the stuff around me.